Black and White first entered development in 1998 by Lionhead Studios and was later published in 2001 by Electronic Arts for Microsoft Windows. It is, hands down, one of the most well-known games to ever have spawned from Peter Molyneux's creative juices, and in my unbiased opinion, it's also his best. My unbiased opinion comes from a place of unhealthy obsession and ludicrously long periods of sitting at the family computer putting the world to right until I got bored. What can I say, playing evil's more fun. Admit it. So, when the game begins after you've been birthed upon the land of Eden, you're immediately stricken with a bad case of schizophrenia.
Greetings, we're your conscience.
I do hope you like these guys because they're here for the entire run of the game. I don't particularly mind them myself, but as far as the other characters go in this game, they're certainly not the most obnoxious.
Oh, we got this notion that
Yeah. Now I'm wading through more unskippable tutorials for what feels like an hour.
Now it's time to learn how to look around. Move the hand to the side of the screen and hold down the move button. Now let's learn how to look up and down. You can also use the key.
Once you've finally familiarised yourself with your hand, you're briefly given the opportunity to move around and gaze at the world yourself. And what a world it is. The graphics unfortunately don't hold up today, but for the time this was, well, it wasn't great either then, but my imagination filled in the blanks. Eventually you'll bump into this brave woman.
Greetings, Holy One.
But before you can receive more godly earbending, you've got a few heads to collect. But it is worth it, as it's required to unlock the primary part of the game. Before the game's release, there was a lot of hype around having your own minion. A supernatural creature, as it were, to serve as an extension of your godly prowess. It was the box art that immediately caught my attention. The notion of choosing between a great benevolent turtle of wondrous creations, or an horrific Goliath, cruel of intent and the messenger of your terrible fury. I may have initially been
Look at them. Just look at them.
disappointed, but as we all know, all great things, or in this case, terrible, have small beginnings.
We've chosen a creature.
So after choosing the tiger, obviously, you're immediately sharing words with this brave lady again.
Now slap him by moving your hand quickly from side to side. Oh, you want to encourage him to do things like that, do
What does
you?
she think she's talking to? She's essentially demanding that I do things by her design. Remind me, which one of us has got again? This game is just full of these presumptuous lemmings, all asking for a smiting. Eventually you meet this guy,
Look at the size of that.
and he absolutely insists that you let him groom your creature. Apparently he's called Guide, but I'm going to call him Gary Glitter. For better or worse, I allowed it. I was busy completing the rest of the island side quests anyway. Not that one. There is a running theme throughout the game where your friends are either obliterated or tortured. The first land doesn't conclude until our friend dear Gary takes one for the team first. Oh shit, are you alright?
Look at the size.
The game refuses to let go of your hand until about World 3 or so, but thereafter you're continuously playing under harsher restrictions and from increasingly compromised positions on the map. You're never given the room to make truly fleshed out decisions within the parameters of whatever mortality you're assuming. If you're not playing both good and bad in the same playthrough, you are, a lot of the time, going to be shooting yourself in the foot, or the hand, as it were. A lot of these issues aren't a problem in skirmishes, the way I believe the game is truly meant to be played. A sandbox, where the game's engine and physics, flaws and all, can be appreciated without the restrictions of the campaign. This is where I spent the majority of my time playing the game. It was nice to be able to just start a new game without having to wade through all of the unskippable tutorials. I spent hours trying to figure out how to make my creature grow as big as the one on the box art. Online forums were pretty much non-existent back then, so I was left with the old trial and error routine. And unfortunately, I never did manage to do it. This has been Northern Eye. If you found my thoughts interesting and would like to hear me talk more about classic games, give my channel a follow. If you have any thoughts of your own or any suggestions for the next video, add them in the comments below and I'll look forward to reading them.